Hello, today I will be answering question 3 which is, what have you learned from your audience feedback? From my audience feedback, I have learned that the band that we are covering, the White Stripes, has a fairly large following because on Twitter, as of March 29th, 2013, they had 6,000 fans on Twitter alone, and there are various gig photos on their page of like thousands of people in the crowd at a White Stripes gig, which gives me the impression that they are a fairly successful band. So I thought I would go on Facebook and ask them a question. If you listen to the White Stripes, how often would you listen to their music? And about 15 people replied. About 5 people said hardly. About 4 people said once a week. About 3 people said never. About 2 people said once in my life, and 2 people said several times a day. So then I thought I'd ask another question. How do you feel about the indie rock genre as a whole? When I asked this question, I got more answers than I did perhaps the last question. I believe I got more answers probably because this question was a lot easier to answer because it wasn't so specific. For this, I asked, I can't tell what's indie and what's not, but I think I like it. I like the sound. I'm indifferent to it. I can't tell what's indie, so I don't know if I like it, but probably not. I feel it's kind of overdone. The top one being, I can't tell what indie is or not, but I think I like it. That was the one that was answered the most, and that got 15 answers. 15 votes. I like the sound. That got about 7. I'm indifferent to it. Got about 5. I can't tell what's indie, so I don't know if I like it, but probably not. Got 1, and so did I feel it's kind of overdone. That got 1 as well. But a good friend of mine commented on it, and he elaborated on the point that in this day and age, since music's so diverse and rock is evolving all the time, the genre boundaries are really blurred. So it wouldn't be very accurate to try and put a certain amount of bands in the indie genre, because they could also branch out into other genres and it wouldn't represent them fairly. From my audience feedback, I also learned on Facebook that when I posted my video up, I got fairly good responses. A lot of people said they liked it, but one of my friends in particular said that it was probably a little too effect heavy. So in light of this, we went back and we took some of the effects off, because our tutor agreed with me that the effects were way too heavy. So we took some of the effects off to water it down a bit so the audience could consume it as a text easier. Right, that's my answer to question 3. Thank you very much for listening.